Peace and blessings, my brothers. I hope that you all are doing well. Listen, guys, I want to talk to you all briefly about living without fear. Living without fear. Brothers, you see what's going on all around us. We see black men who are going to prison, public figures. Black men who are in court right now. Black men who are the objects of a witch hunt. Black men who have struck the ire of an element within this society that simply does not want to see black men flourish and prosper. An element within this society which prefers to see black men in a infantilized state, to see us as we see boys, black boys, stripped of power, stripped of agency, codependent, needy, so on and so forth. And brothers, what I want to say to you right now in this moment, where we have all this heavy policing, and you got all these movements that seek to destroy black men over frivolous things, bogus charges, dubious allegations, no evidence. But I want to say to you, my brothers, it's important that we are not intimidated, that we do not allow these elements to put us up against the wall and to have us scared to live our lives, to have us in a situation where we are afraid to go outside, where we're afraid to walk the streets, we're afraid to go to public places, we're afraid to travel the world, where we're just completely fearful of being ourselves because we're concerned about how others are going to perceive us and how others will attempt to defrock us. This element in this society wants to control everything that a black man thinks, how a black man thinks. This element wants to control how black men move. This element goes back to the old slaveocracy, which is only content with the black man under control of the state, or under the control of some type of containment system that emasculates a black man, that neuters him. And brothers, if you surrender to this element, you will never, ever, 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 ever live a life where your aspirations, your desires, your interests are realized. You will never, ever, ever, ever fulfill your potential as a human being if you live in fear. So that's why I'm here telling you guys to live without fear. I just got this in the mail. This is a DVD, a documentary on Jack Johnson, the legendary heavyweight boxer, the first black heavyweight champion of the world. It's called Unforgivable Blackness, The Rise and Fall of Jack Johnson. And if you know anything about Jack Johnson, what you understand is that Jack Johnson was a black man, one of the few black men, public black men in American history who lived a life without fear, who lived out loud. A black man who took the heavyweight title from a white man, won it according to his own merits, and maintained his status as a heavyweight champion for a very long time. And he reveled in his fame. And he amassed a significant fortune. And he lived the way he wanted to live during his lifetime. And then due to the ire of white society punished him for violating the codes that say that black men should behave as children, that black men should never affirm who they are as men. And Jack Johnson was punished because he was so fearless that he had the audacity to date and even marry white women. And as a result of that, he was prosecuted. There was a law that's still on the books right now, and that law is responsible for the prosecution of a black man who we know today, who sits in prison. The law was called the Mann Act. Look up the Mann Act. Brothers, Jack Johnson, though punished by white society, he spent a year in prison for violating the Mann Act. He did not allow the punishment to prevent him from going on with his life and going on with living life on his own terms. He is one of the few examples that we have in history of such a man. The closest that we get to that in terms of a public figure is perhaps Muhammad Ali. He predated Muhammad Ali and was more fearless than Ali. And brothers, I'm talking about this, guys, because the 21st century is no different from the 20th century that produced Jack Johnson. The faces are different, the movements are different, but the mentality that seeks to destroy black men is still the same. And you can either kowtow to those forces and surrender and to be everything that they want you to be, or you can live life on your own terms and be fearless. If you're serious about black men's independence, black men's agency, and black men's empowerment, you will live a life without fear. And living without fear is the only way for any of those things to be a reality. Brothers, live life on your own terms. Live life without fear. Pursue your interests. Be the agent that you are. Live out loud. Peace and blessings, my brothers. Take care.